All right, hello and welcome to another Why Would You Use. So today we're going to be talking about the latest heavy blade, the Paracesis. So this weapon is not that special, but is incredibly unique and interesting. And I know those two things usually don't go together, but let's just jump into what this thing has going for it. First and foremost, if you looked in the bottom right of my screen whenever I whipped it out, you'll notice this weapon goes to rank 40. And that is a little weird. Basically, what that means is that this gives an additional 1000 MR. However, in order to get this weapon to rank 40, you need to invest 5 Forma in it, as it gains 2 ranks per the Forma you invest, up to the cap of 5. That also gives you some additional rank bonuses, in this case 60% damage to sentients, and it will also reset sentient damage resistances whenever you hit them with this weapon. That is not... both of these aren't useful. Plain and simple, both of these aren't useful. Using a heavy blade to fight sentients is a bad idea regardless, and Void Kid can just strip it sentient resistance if you were to need to. So this weapon doesn't really have a reason to have these bonuses, and there's about a million things I can think of that would be better than both of these things on it. However, considering the way that you get this weapon, which is from the newest quest, these rank bonuses make a whole lot of sense. Now, statistically, on paper, you would look at this weapon and go, oh, that seems alright. I could get into that. And yes, this is a very solid greatsword. But also, it is pretty much just a strictly worse Gram Prime, which we're going to be talking about in an upcoming video. And it's also kind of a strictly worse Galatine Prime as well. Is that such a bad thing? No. Obviously, I think very highly of the Galatine Prime, and when we talk about the Gram Prime, you'll see what I think of that weapon as well. Spoiler, it's going to be good. So basically what we're left with is a 1000 ducat greatsword, but unless the MR is a restriction you're dealing with, you should just get the Galatine Prime or the Gram Prime instead, because the 1000 ducats can just be put towards better things. That being said, it's cool. I like the way that this weapon is introduced into the game. I think story-wise it was really awesome, and I don't think it needs to be the greatest weapon of all time, especially if it's going to be story relevant in the future. So let's just show it off against these enemies. It's not going to be a difficult time. Obviously, a weapon that compares to like the Galatine Prime is not going to have any big troubles unless I just let myself get shot by every single man that ever would exist. There we go. Once I start actually swinging the weapon, it went a lot better for me. I don't know if y'all noticed that. But that's basically what's up. It's one of the good heavy blades. Is it the best heavy blade? I think not. Is it gonna murderlize the shit out of some stuff? Absolutely. And it's slash-based, so it's got that going for it. It's not like as slash-based as you might want it to be, which would be 100% slash-based. But it's going to get the job done, and it's going to get the job done at like high levels. You're going to bring this into elite alerts. I know I did, and it was fine. For like I think there was a 40-minute run in a survival or so. So you're not going to have any real troubles with this weapon as long as you're pairing it with an appropriate Warframe. I paired it with Rhino Prime personally, and that went very well. But yeah, better options exist. But if you like the look of this thing, it's going to serve you really well, and you're not going to have any issues with it in the long run. And it is, of course, going to be a staple weapon you're going to get on your progression of the game, no matter what. So no matter what happens in the future, this weapon will always be this good, which means it'll persist longer. Like whenever Gram Prime and Galatine Prime are both vaulted and super expensive, a new player is going to be able to come along, get this, and be pretty happy with it. And I think that's cool, because I think those other two weapons, which this is comparable to, are going to be relevant for a long time. So that is so many words to say. Paracesis is good. You should probably build it if you got ducats and Forma lying around, because it's at the very worst 4,000 Forma, not 4,000 Forma, 4,000 Mastery. Anyway, that is going to do it for this Why Would You Use. I will see you tomorrow in the Gram Prime Why Would You Use.